First of all, we're here to look at the H&Y filter system. This was a late addition to our reviews, and we're very glad that somebody recommended them to us. We'll take a look at the adapter first. The adapter is a plain ring. It simply screws into the front. And the holder is something a little bit different though. We have an adapter ring, but with a drop-in polarizer. But I don't know if you can see, but there are also no slots here. So let's take a look at how it works. First of all, the adapter slides on to the front, and it has two wheels. The wheels secure things quite nicely, and then we'll take a look at the graduated filters themselves. First thing to notice is the filters come in caddies. These are very secure, and they provide a little recess so that if these filters were to be placed on a flat surface, anything like sand or grit on the flat surface wouldn't scratch the filter. They make them nice and easy to handle, and more importantly, they are magnetic, so that the process of putting filters on to the camera is incredibly easy. The process to take them off, likewise. If you want to put a second filter on, as long as you get the orientation right, you just grip onto the front of the first one, and then you can adjust them at will. Now, a couple of people have commented that it's is it likely to knock these off? Well, you can put quite a lot of force on these without knocking them off. But yeah, there is a possibility that you turn around, knock the edge of one, and it comes off. H&Y are just designing to be released next month some sort of clamp system for the outside of this. But in general use, I would say that you don't need to worry about it. And one of the reasons you don't need to worry about it is these are the first graduated filters made of Corning Gorilla Glass. That's the same glass that goes on the front of your iPhone or some other phone systems. It's incredibly robust for dropping, so you are very unlikely to break these in a drop unless it's a very significant drop, and I think the caddies would help with that too. They're also more resistant to scratching, although they are still softer. Like every glass filter is softer than quartz, so look after them just the same, and I think the caddies help with that. Now we'll take a look at the polarizing system. And the polarizer is a drop-in, which is, I have to say, absolutely fantastic. One of the things I've discovered in the process of doing these reviews is how much I hate screw-in filters. They're not friendly at all, especially when you've got gloves on. So this drop-in comes with a standard polarizer. It has a wheel on the side. You can see that. And the wheel is nice and large. It's got large serrations on it, so rotating the polarizer itself is very easy. H&Y also provide a set of polarizers with NDs combined. So if I want to swap and I think, oh, well, fancy an extra 6 stops of ND, that's as easy as it is. If we go back to the normal polarizer for a second. This has got a little catch at the end of its travel, so you can turn the whole camera upside down. So if you turn the camera on the side, you don't need to worry about it dropping out. They also provide plain ND filters in drop-ins, but only in the higher values yet. So this is a 10 stop. Go the right way around. So this obviates the need for any padding or masking around the edge, because this is working right next to the lens. And again, pull it out, drop in another filter, and you're done. So it looks like it's easy to use. So what we need to do now is try it out. So let's start with a pair of these thin gloves. And these are my Mac Wet gloves, which I use generally if it's a little cold. And we'll start with putting the filter system on, which is very easy. Tighten it up, put a grad on, adjust the grad, take the grad off. Do I want a polarizer or not? Yeah, want a polarizer. Adjust it. With a graduated filter on, I can adjust that polarizer very easily still. So now for the real challenge. Let's try it with the thick gloves on. Now these are my winter gloves. Nice Christmas present from my parents. I don't think you'd get thicker gloves than this in many situations. So a couple of the knobs are a little bit more delicate to use, but there we go. Filter system off, filter system on, tighten up those knobs. Let's go for the polarizer, sorry, the graduated filter. On, adjust, off, go on to different polarizer, tap that in, you can adjust the polarizer, straightforward to use when the graduated filter is in place as well. I'm really happy with that. That is eminently usable even with very thick gloves on. So, H&Y, is there anything else to say about the H&Y system? I think the only weakness that I've found with this one is the chance of knocking the filter off. I've used it quite a bit in the wind, next to the sea, and I've not had a problem with it. However, it would be great to have a tiny clamp, so we'll look forward to seeing what H&Y do with that. In the meantime, we'll move on to the next systems and see how they do.